Hi, I'm Jason Bryan from the Short-Time Wrestling Podcast and founder of the Mat Talk Podcast Network. Shows on the network are individually owned and operated, and those opinions presented and expressed may not reflect others, the sponsors, patrons, or the parent network. Find more shows about the greatest sport in the world at the Mat Talk Podcast Network at mattalkonline.com.
The mind of Pat Popolizio is a wondrous thing. And for you Pack Wrestling fans, you'll get to go inside the mind of the Skip each and every episode here on the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Now, here's your host, NC State Director of Athletics Digital Communications, Brian Reinhardt.
Finally, NC State Wrestling is returning home. If you smell what we're cooking, might be a tease to a guest here on the podcast. We'll see. But in the meantime, episode 88, Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Huge weekend ahead for NC State Wrestling. ACC action start doesn't get any better. Number 5 versus number 7. So to break it down for you, we got the head coach, Pat Popolizio. Pat, hello.
Brian, I was getting worried about you. I was making sure we were doing this podcast this week, and people tweeting at you and everything.
People calling me out, so I said, pay me.
Well, we know you're busy all week, but I'm glad you could find 20 minutes of your time here.
Pat, we got 20 minutes. We were going to have a great guest on. I went through my Rolodex. For those that don't know, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. We were going to get him on the podcast. Slight scheduling issue, so we're not going to have him on this week. We'll get The Rock on here soon. Pat, we got you on instead.
That's all right. That's good.
All right. So ACC action starts. Fans are looking forward to it. Guys have to be looking forward to it. You guys haven't been home for quite a long time. How excited? Don't even talk about the opponent yet. Just getting back into Reynolds. Fans are already talking. They're already putting out who's coming. There's a little roll call going on social media. It's really cool. How excited are you guys to be coming back to Reynolds?
Yeah, it's going to be good. I definitely see a lot of traction right now with people buying tickets and just the chatter. So it's going to be a lot of good energy in Reynolds and just, I think, a packed house with some new people coming in too.
Yeah, I dropped it this morning. Free t-shirt giveaway. Nothing gets the fans more excited than a free t-shirt.
You're going to look good in that t-shirt too.
I tried to give away a free t-shirt last duel. No one could get the score right for the final score. So first 500 fans inside Reynolds Coliseum Friday night will receive a free t-shirt. So buy those tickets now. Why would you want to wait outside? It's probably going to be a little cold. You don't have to stand in line. Buy those tickets now. Get inside Reynolds. Free t-shirt. Pat, number 5, number 7. Epic battles, Wolfpack and Hokies. Seems every year. The last 4 years, it's come down to the final match. I'll start with, usually this was ending the season. How come it's the first duel of the ACCs this year?
That's a good question. It's not something we have control over. So, we don't put out who we wrestle first or whatnot. So the ACC must be on a rotation. But it's good. It doesn't matter when this duel's set. I think you're going to get, everyone's A team and effort on both sides is going to be fierce. So this is what we're training for, and this is what you want when it comes to college wrestling. You want to be in these situations.
I was looking at the probable starters. 18 of the 20 probable starters all ranked, and could really make a case all 20 should be ranked right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a duel with so many ranked starters?
It's been a while, and I feel like every time we are wrestling them, it basically goes down like that. Both teams got really good talent and a lot of depth, so you're gonna get good matches across the board.
Okay, so we'll get back to this. Take us back to last week. Up to where do we go? New Jersey.
Yeah, how do you forget that? We were there for 3 days.
Yeah, I tell you, talk about a blue-collar travel trip. I've never seen it take 12 hours to get back home from afternoon.
Well, that's good for you. You were a little adversity. you managed well.
Yeah. 32-9, Wolfpack win. Unfortunately, we didn't get that matchup at 125. It was a forfeit, but Ed's got another huge win. A lot of your guys got wins. What was kind of the How were you guys feeling coming back while we were sitting in that airport for 12 hours?
It was good. One, get that dual meet in, and appreciate Princeton, staying the course because they were dealing with a lot of adversity that week. And I think just sometimes it's good to put your team in those situations. We needed to compete. The rider duel got canceled. We were trying to pick up some other competition. Didn't work out, but I was thankful our guys got to, one, make weight, step on the mat and go compete. We got a couple extra matches in as well. So it was positive. It was a long weekend. But the good news is we had the following weekend off, so we could regroup travel-wise, get our feet back underneath this training, and get ready for this dual meet coming up.
I shouldn't read message boards, but I do. I will admit it. It's part of my job.
So
but some people are asking about the quantity of matches this year. How do you feel going into ACC? Have you guys had enough opportunity outside of the practice room?
Well, you got to look at what we got. And you got to look at what they've done in the freestyle circuit too. That's important to know. We focused in the beginning of the year getting tough matches for a lot of these guys on the freestyle side of things. And to me, these seasons almost blend together. And I know certain ones count on a record, certain ones you need for seeding and whatnot. But I know what kind of team we have and what we needed. And a lot of our higher level guys got it. Our younger level guys, some of them were coming off of some injuries that we have to be cautious about. So you gotta balance 35 guys, a team, and do its best for what we think is going to position us come NCAAs. And I think we're doing all the right things. I think we're going to be in a good spot. We got to make sure we hit the magic mark. 8 matches for certain guys and 15 for the guys that are maybe a little inexperienced. Younger guys can handle that. So we're going to do what we got to do to get those guys to that 15 match mark. That's the key. But for senior level guys who have been to the national tournament and gotten the job done, we got to just get to 8. So we're gonna figure it out. We got a couple weeks to do it. Working on a date with another team right now to just get some matches in. Yeah,
is that a tease?
It's a tease.
Okay,
but I think it's gonna happen after the Duke duel that Saturday. Got possibly 20 matches that would be lined up for our guys.
I was just going to say, just because you and the other coaches here were talking about it, NCAA panel rankings are coming out, RPI. The NCAA came out and said they're not changing anything this year about those numbers. There's been a lot of COVID cancellations. A lot of other teams aren't wrestling guys because of injury right now too. But are you guys worried about that 15 mark?
Well, everyone's going to be in the same boat. So I think what you're going to see is less spots get allocated to the conferences and a lot more wild cards. Because let's face it, you're going to get some really good guys that only have 6, 7, 8 matches at most and aren't going to qualify a spot for their conference. And then they're going to the NCAA is not going to issue out that spot. So you might see weights with 8 wild cards. And then I feel good where we're at. As long as our guys are ranked pretty high, they're going to, one, just get the job done on the front side. And if anyone ever needs it, I think we'll be in position. It's going to come down to quality wins. And I think most of our guys already have good quality wins. And if they don't now, by the time the conference tournament's over, I'm sure some of them are going to have good quality wins. And if they don't, then you got to ask yourself, do you belong at the national tournament? And that's where we're at as a program. If we're not pushing to get all 10 guys there and compete in the place, then, we got to reevaluate what our standard is here. And I think we're in a good spot regardless.
I was going to say, you're talking about quality wins. ACC, so many ranked teams, so many ranked individuals. Not only are you going to get them in duels, you're going to get them at championship. And it all starts this weekend. NC State will host Virginia Tech Friday night, Reynolds Coliseum, 7 o'clock. TV crew's coming. First of 3 TV channel, or not channels, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm struggling here.
We got the best SID in the country. You've been working this way. I got to give you credit, and I think people need to know how much hustling you've been doing with promotion and just the videos that you've been putting out there. So let's give you a nice hand.
I appreciate that, and I think our fans love watching our videos. We get so many great clicks, so many great views. So video content, really important for us. We love pushing out content.
Yeah.
Tell us what we can do for you fans. We'll get it to you, but great video content. Go have a great chance on ACC Network if you can't be in Reynolds. But again, I know I'm trying to sell tickets here. come to
Our
Reynolds.
ticket sales is the highest it's been pre-sold for a duel yet. So
That's great,
That
Mark.
says a lot.
We want to see a packed Reynolds, obviously, but let's get to it. You guys, Virginia Tech, last 7 years, you and the Hokies, you guys gone back and forth. The only two teams to win the regular season title. And did you know the winner of this duel has won that regular season title each year?
I did not know that.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
That's good to know. So
Put
that
some
means
pressure
it's
on
close.
both teams. Let's go.
Well, I'm not trying to put pressure on you, but you talked about ranked matchup after ranked matchup. This is unbelievable. What weight are we going to start at?
I have no clue.
Okay.
It comes down to
I think
both
both teams know what weight they want to start at.
Probably.
And I don't think it's the same weight.
probably not.
Okay.
I guess it depends on who wins the coin flip is what weight we'll start at. I think we both know what weight we're going to start at if we win, and both
Yes.
know what weight if they win. So
Absolutely.
it is what it is. You got to show up and wrestle all 10 matches regardless.
I actually had someone from the ACC text me. They wanted to float out the idea of starting at 84 and ending at 74.
That wouldn't be a bad. I mean, obviously the fireworks there are going to be crazy.
I said, I think that'd be a great idea. But
Yeah.
I replied back saying ACC coaches will never agree upon a starting weight.
You never know.
Okay.
You never know. Maybe.
Well, for purposes of the podcast, we're going to do something we never do.
Okay.
We're going to go weight by weight, and we're going
Ooh.
to start at the lower weights.
Let's go.
I mean, we never do this.
Yep.
125, Camacho versus Latona. Talk about some history here. Two great matchups last year. One came down to the final move in the final 5 seconds. ACC finals, it came down to overtime, a ride out. I mentioned Camacho. He didn't get that Princeton match. We haven't seen Camacho on the mat since late December.
Yep.
How do you feel about Camacho going into this one?
It's good. I think him taking those losses down in Florida was healthy for him. You don't want to lose, but I think he's adjusted some things, and I think his mentality is going to be what he needs to do. Another great test for him. Anytime you're wrestling someone that's beating you, you got to elevate your game, and he's got to close that match out because I think we've seen it. He's wrestled great in all those matches. He's just got to get his hand raised. That's what it comes down to. And there's nothing that he needs to change drastically other than deciding that he's going to get it done and get his hand raised and finally get that win over a really, really good, tough competitor that, placed last year at the national tournament. So where you're getting there. You're going to get one of the top guys in the country coming out. And it's going to be good. Those guys let it fly when they wrestle, so that's going to be a really fun match to watch. And obviously the intensity is going to be top-notch.
I think it's a little interesting this year. Both guys have taken some losses, so they're actually a little bit lower in the rankings than they both want to. So this is going to be whoever wins this one, it's going to be their best win of the season. So I
and
think
they're
some
both
fireworks.
right there. They're both two of the best guys in the country. I don't really care what rankings say. Both those guys can compete to win it this year. I know 25 is deep, but those guys I think both are good enough to go far into that national tournament.
It's great that you don't care about ranking because that's all we're talking about.
I know
These guys are ranked right now.
Let's go.
133. You've split action this year. Kai, Trombley, they've split. So, we'll see who gets out there. But number 5, Myers, he got the major last year. That really started the duel for them last year. Whoever you send out there, what do they have to do to kind of slow Myers down and get a better result this year?
They got to compete. That's what it comes down to. You got a guy that puts it on the line, wrestles hard, and attacks, and all we got to do is wrestle back. Last year we did not do that. It was disappointing to watch that go down because it's not what our team stands for. So I don't think we're going to see that again happen. I know we're going to wrestle someone that is very good, very competitive, and I expect whoever goes out there this year for us is to fight and compete and challenge back. Guys got to have more experience than us, but I like where we're at having 2 options at 33. It's elevated both their game, and I'm feel good about who we're going to put out there that's going to go out and wrestle back hard for 7 minutes.
Hey, Wolfpack Wrestling fans, let us interrupt this segment of the show to get you up to date on how to follow us on social media. Give us a follow on Twitter and get all of the latest NC State wrestling news as we break it to our wonderful fan base. We had the most followers in the ACC and have been ranked in the top 10 nationally in interactions each of the last 5 seasons. So we'd love your support on Twitter. Find us at PackWrestle. And be sure to head over to YouTube, for a great behind-the-scenes look at the program, in addition to highlights from all of our matches if you're unable to watch the live stream. We would love to get over 1,000 subscribers so we can monetize our channel. You know we love making money around here and need your help by hitting that subscribe button to get us closer to our goal. On YouTube, we are also at Pack Wrestle. Our Instagram stories are unmatched on match day as we take you all over the arena for a look in on the great wrestling action. On Instagram, follow us at Wolfpack Wrestling. And it goes without saying, the top podcast that covers NC State wrestling is this very podcast, the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Make sure you are subscribing so each and every new episode will automatically download for you. We are available on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. And thank you for listening to the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast and for your continued support of NC State wrestling. Keep climbing up here at 141. Ryan Jack, freshman, second-year freshman, but probably the biggest duel that he's been involved in. And Virginia Tech has a couple guys. You've seen Girardi before, Hillegas. You saw him last year. Both very competitive guys, not in the rankings right now, but definitely should be ranked. It just depends who's getting out there. But Ryan Jack, this would be a huge momentum event for him.
Yeah, and he's been getting better and better. I think from Florida, he took those losses, but I think he gained confidence off there knowing that he can hang in there with the best guys in the country. Looked great at Princeton, and just got to go out and attack and let it fly. I'm excited to see how he responds in this atmosphere, and in bigger matches he wrestles better. So this is one where I think we're gonna see what he's, what we recruited him for, and he's got the Jack bloodline there, and those guys are gamers. The bigger the match, the better they wrestle. So it should be a fun one, and it is. I think you got on the other side two guys that are really competitive that have had good careers thus far. So that's another match. It's going to be a nail biter.
I keep texting while we're talking because NC State students, we're bringing donuts to Tally Student Center Thursday.
Is that the ones Hayden and Trent went shopping for this weekend?
Hayden does not have any donuts left over from that. Was it a 6-pack or a 12-pack?
6, I think, okay. and I hope he was being honest with me, but he said he did not eat all 6 of those. But there's a reason he's up at 74 now.
Hayden's going to be handing out donuts. I don't think he'll be eating donuts, but
he might have one with them.
He just texted me back. He's going to be amongst. So we're going to be bringing donuts.
Sweet.
Trying to sell the program here.
Let's do it.
149. I know 74 and 84 get a lot of attention, but this 49 bout, holy moly! Number 3, Tariq Wilson. Number 6, Andorian. I don't know. Contrast of styles?
I don't know. They're both real dangerous wrestlers. So that one's going to be don't blink because you're going to miss something when those two guys go at it. But yeah, that's going to be a fun match. I have a feeling the score is it's not going to be a 1-point match.
It's not going to be it's not going to be a 2-1 match.
Yeah, that won't be one where you're going to say, "Wow, that was boring." So I think people are going to be on the edge of their seats for that one. But that should be an exciting one, and I think that's one that you're going to see wrestled late March as well.
I was going to say, I'm sure we're going to see that one at least once, maybe twice more this year.
No doubt about that.
Everybody's looking for that.
Yep.
157. Freshman Ed Scott. He's 3 straight ranked wins here, 2 in the top 10. A little bit underrated for Virginia Tech, I would say. Number 23, Brady, but I remember him from last year. Kept Hayden's match really close. Yep. Really tough to score on both of these guys.
Yeah.
Kind of the same type of wrestler too, but I think this is a matchup very important for the Wolfpack here.
Yeah, I like where Ed's at. He's got a lot of output, so if someone does wrestle him defensively, it's he's going to attack for 7 minutes, and it's hard to stop that. And it's good. This is going to be another one. You're seeing a lot of guys real close in the rankings, as you like to talk about, Brian. You got some of the better guys going toe-to-toe and some of the guys that are ranked a little lower going toe-to-toe. And I think that's what make this duel real interesting. And I think these guys are real comparable as far as where they're at in their careers right now. So this will be another fun one. And I think it's going to be, a tough, hard-fought battle. 7 minutes of really good, hard wrestling from both guys.
I will say, one of your guys just texted me. I'm not sure this is a blue-collar school right now. He said he will only hand out donuts if it's Krispy Kreme.
Who was that?
I'm not dropping names, but I'm just saying.
It wasn't Hayden or Trent because they were at Dunkin' Donuts. Are you trying to get a sponsorship here?
Not from Krispy Kreme. I don't like glazed donuts. So Krispy Kreme, if you're listening, sorry, we don't need you.
Oh, boy.
Any other donut people, let us know. Contact us. 165, Bullard wrestling again against Virginia Tech. Those guys have seen Bullard's, I think, way too much. Haven't seen Bullard. He didn't go up to Princeton. So how's Bullard been in the room? What are you looking for him at 65? This is a match. If we get bonus points here, it would be huge.
Yeah, that's one where, you gotta shoot for that. And you got a guy that's wrestles really hard as well, but I like our style matchup there. I think it's a conflict of styles on both sides. So it's going to come down if Bullard can execute and do what he's good at, and score those points. And he is dangerous when he gets on top. It's hard to stop what he can do, and that's where he's got to put himself, is in a position to where he can get a turn or two, and if not, try to get a fall. But you got to show up. That's the biggest thing with Thomas now, is when he shows up and is on his A game, he's very dangerous. And if he's not, it's one where you could be vulnerable at times. So I like his focus. I like where we're at. I think he's zoned in a lot from the scuffle, and we're in a good spot there. And that's our whole team. This last week has been, and that's what I like. I felt it going into the Florida duels. There was just guys were razor sharp, focused, and executing everything that we've mapped out for them. And we're in the same boat here. It's going to be a good week for us.
All right, 174. We've talked about this. Everyone's talking about this. Hayden's at 4. Ncaa Lewis, number 3. Headline match. You have one school's first ever 4-time All-American against another school's first ever NCAA champion. And I heard you do in an interview before, I think besides an injury default by Virginia Tech last year.
Yeah, that doesn't really, I know it counts on a record, but
I'm not sure either of these guys has dropped a duel.
No.
There's got to be
I love that. I think that makes this match even that much more exciting to know that there's a little bit of that on the line. And having a guy that's been here 6 years and has the experience that Hayden has, he's got to use that to his advantage, and just being at home, the crowd and all that, there's going to be some good energy there. People obviously love what Hayden stands for, and a lot of these people are coming to support him. So should be a fun atmosphere there, but that's a match. Wouldn't surprise me again that is wrestled late March. Both guys are good enough to win a national title, and we got to do what we're good at. We got to stick to his style of wrestling and execute. That's what wrestling's about. Who can do a better job at that? And every time you can match up with a guy and wrestle where you're good, and Hayden's done a really good job at that. So this will be a great test for him, and it'll show that he is, when he's out there competing, that he's big enough to be a 74-pounder, because he's plenty big for 174.
I know Hayden said this is part of the reason he moved up to face competition like Ncaa Lewis, who is also moving up. But
yeah,
this is a heavyweight battle. I don't care where you see these two. Definitely. They're going to meet again. 184, Trent Hiley, number 3. Hunter Bolin, I feel very underrated here, ranked at 13. But these two meeting yet again. 5th career matchup. The all-time score is 8-6.
Is it really?
Yes. No one has scored more than 3 points in this
5
battle.
matches?
Yes. That just tells you how close this is. No one has got more than a takedown. There's been a couple matches without a takedown.
Damn.
These two.
It seemed like when you watch those guys wrestle, it seemed like it was nonstop action.
These two are as even as they can be.
Yeah.
How has Trent's training? He obviously knows this opponent more than anybody.
Yep.
Any different mindset going in for Trent?
I think he's made some jumps. If you look at where he's at mentally and physically, Trent has, and it's scary to say, coming off last year, he's made a big jump. And I think you go back to that Missouri match where he could have left it a real close match and said, no, I'm going for the bonus points. And I think that's the mentality Trent has right now, is I'm not trying to win, I'm trying to dominate. And I think when he does that, it makes him dangerous and puts him in a really good spot when he's competing. And he's just got to carry that mentality, not worry about what you said with the score being low like that, because you're wrestling a really good kid. But if we go out and execute and open up early, I think that works in our favor, is if we can get on our offense and trying to put points up in the first period. And that's when Trent gets really good, really dangerous.
And it might be low scoring, but these guys are working very hard. I mean, they're on top of each other. It's not like they're backing away and not locking up. It's
they
just
put it on the line.
It's unbelievable defense in these matches.
Yep.
The wrestler that said Krispy Kreme only has taken one for the team. He will now hand out donuts no matter what I bring.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll eat one too.
We appreciate the guys taking ones for the team here. 197, you have Isaac Trumbull. Virginia Tech has a couple guys they could go with. Dakota Howard up from 174. Andy Smith was a true freshman starter last year. Very different contrast and styles between those two wrestlers. You know you're going to get an Isaac. Isaac unfortunately got pinned up at Princeton. He was leading late, went for a little turn, and then got reversed. How has Isaac recovered, and what are you looking forward to seeing out of him?
Well, the good news is we got that out of the way. That happens, and that was one we really just got. And we talked about it. You get over aggressive on top. We got to be a little smarter. So we'll learn from that. Usually, you usually learn pretty fast when that happens to you. So rather it happen in that duel than one that maybe he's going to be a little tighter in the score. Isaac's dangerous to wrestle. He's hard to wrestle. So it doesn't matter who they're throwing out there. I like that. I think we had this offseason had a match with Smith. And it was after probably 12 matches. We wrestled them both junior and senior. So I'm excited to see that match and see it in a folk style setting because I like where we're at with the mat wrestling and both guys wrestle hard, both a little taller. So that's going to be another one of those if you go up and down this lineup, again, you're looking at two guys that they're younger and where they're at in the rankings. I bet you they're right next to each other somewhere in there. And that's what this whole duel is about. It's like every matchup is real close outside of one or two of them. So this is going to be another one that I think is going to be action-packed, just a different style conflicts depending on who they throw out. But I know Isaac's ready for anything, and his style is going to be tough no matter who they throw out there.
I will say, because I've had to do it the last couple of times against Virginia Tech, going to be writing down the scores for every matches because criteria gets a little nervous to figure out sometimes when you're at the end there.
Well, yes, and I think it's every match is different because it comes down to whether there were the one year we had it, each team got a fall, right? And that's hard to do in duels. Well, they had two pins, then matches one. There's a lot that goes to it.
Did you see the Pitt got four wins, all 6-point wins against Arizona State?
That's very hard to do, and still win when you lost 6 matches. Yeah.
All right, still got 285. That's another weight. You have obviously said you have 3 guys in the room, all competing, can throw anybody out there.
Yep.
Virginia Tech had a transfer, Traxler from Stanford. You guys a little familiar with him. Saw him at the NCAAs last year, but he's off to a great start. Are you going off matchups? Are you going off who's doing better in the room? What's your feeling going into heavyweight right now?
Well, I like what I saw out of Tyree and Owen, both placing at the scuffle. We need somebody to step up and want to be the guy at heavyweight. And I'm seeing a little more of that right now from Tyree, his improvement, his fight, and just how he attacks and wrestles right now is hard for heavyweights. And I like that. And his top game's been real good. And then you got Owen, who's made a lot of improvements too. Really, in the end, you're always hoping for someone to really separate themselves, but we're still we're neck and neck with, I feel like 2 guys have jumped, a little bit further away, but we still have 3 guys haven't closed the door on anything there. There's still a long time left in the season. And it just takes one guy getting that big win. You look at like an Ed Scott, where he was at 57. It just takes that one win and it starts separating yourself from the rest of the competition. And that's really what we're missing right now at heavyweight is getting that one win. And maybe Friday night is that one win. That could be the difference. If whoever we throw out there gets that win, it might put them in a really good spot, as far as conference and in the NCAA. So let's see if things play out. But I like the fact that we got 3 guys in that room right now that are very valuable and are going to help us tremendously as we move forward.
Pat, every Friday night for the next 5 weeks, NC State will be in ACC action. Can't wait for this conference to open up action here. Number 5, NC State. number 7 Virginia Tech, Friday night, Reynolds Coliseum, 7 o'clock. Can we pub it up anymore? What else can we throw out there to get fans in the building?
Well, I'm sure there's some things we could do. We could get creative. I know you got a good mind, so let's start thinking. We'll put something out on Twitter.
I thought of something else.
Okay.
Saturday night, after wrestling.
Ooh,
I know we have a lot that we covered.
There you go.
Friday night, Reynolds Coliseum. Fans, let's pack Reynolds Coliseum. Saturday, a big event for Wolfpack Wrestling too.
I got, 2 things. So we've been making really good progress. I think, we're going to knock on wood. Weather's going to be in a good spot for us. We're going to get a good attendance to Casino Night, which continues to support our RTC. And our board has been doing a phenomenal job with getting gifts and then just getting the numbers up there. That's going to be good. Making really good progress right now on our locker room addition that we're working on too. So we got 2 things that are in the works that are benefiting our program right now. So anyone looking to support and help, I think we're closing in on being done where we need to be, hitting our goal for the locker room right now. So it's only been a month and we got a lot of good movement on that.
I can't wait for this one fan I know who's out there who wants to make that donation to put my name on the locker room.
The
Reinhardt locker room.
Someone needs to step up and get that done.
Okay, Casino Night, Saturday night, you mentioned it. Great event.
Are you coming?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Big fundraiser.
Poker.
I heard there's a silent auction. Everybody loves the silent auction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff. I heard there's something from the personal collection. Is this true?
Yeah, I got something.
Are you going to?
I'm literally taking it off my wall in my house, and I'm going to bring it to the auction. And it was special made, custom made NC State. I won't tell you what it is, but it's been in my house for a couple years now. Wow. But the good news is I'm going to get a new one.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm going to upgrade, I think.
There's a method to your madness.
No, I like this a lot, and it was actually custom made. So it was a good idea. Someone recommended doing it. So it'll be there. It'll be at the auction item.
All right. Well,
I'm glad you reminded me to bring that.
Yeah. I know. You never said what it was.
Well, my mind is worried about one thing right now here, Brian.
Pat, great catching up with you. Can't harp on this enough. NC State, Virginia Tech, the duel of the year, happening Friday night in Reynolds, Casino Night Saturday. A lot going on. Pat, your wrestlers are very excited. You coaches are excited. The fans, I've seen so much talking on Twitter about how they are packing Reynolds. I know you're excited.
Yep, it's going to be a great atmosphere. Let's continue to sell those tickets.
I want to thank everybody for listening today. This is your Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast covering all things NC State wrestling. Until next time, Wolfpack wrestling fans, go Pack.
The Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast is produced by the Matt Talk Podcast Network. For more wrestling podcasts, go to MattTalkOnline.com.